The Modi government has plunged into new controversy, and it is over an incident it emphatically states it was not involved in. So, why are the opposition parties taking the government to task?
There was uproar in the Rajya Sabha on Monday. It was not price rise or the finance minister's budget, but a journalists' meeting held across the border. Senior journalist meets 2611 mastermind. Uproar over journalist's secret meet with Hafiz Saeed. Yes, this was what sparked off a major row in the upper house of parliament. A picture showing the meeting between freelance journalist Ved Pratap Vaidik and Hafiz Saeed has gone viral. The Congress and various other parties demanded an explanation from the government. Arun Jaitley replied to the opposition's question.
Unquestionably, Hafiz Saeed is a terrorist who has conspired against this country and indulged in actual acts of conspiracy. The government of India has nothing to do, not directly, not indirectly, not even remotely, with any journalist in his individual capacity meeting.
The opposition was not satisfied.
This meeting would not have taken place. This person claims to be an intermediary and an emissary. I'm happy that the leader of the House has denied that. We have been in government. Such meetings cannot take place unless and until it is in the knowledge, it has been facilitated. There would be officials involved. Whether there was information with the High Commission of India in Islamabad, whether the High Commission conveyed that to the Ministry of External Affairs. Look, Ministry of External Affairs will have to give this statement.
The Congress questioned as to whom Vaidik represented while meeting Saeed and demanded his arrest immediately. Let's listen to what the journalist himself had to say.
यात्रा मेरी किसके साथ हुई? सलमान खुर्शीद के साथ हुई, मणिशंकर अय्यर के साथ। मणिशंकर जी अय्यर मेरे बड़े भाई की तरह हैं, परम मित्र की तरह हैं। वो मुझे अपने साथ ले गए थे वहाँ एक संवाद में सेमिनार के लिए, और क्योंकि मैं पत्रकार हूँ और दर्जनों पत्रकार मेरे वहाँ परम मित्र हैं, उन्होंने कहा मैं मिल लिया और मिलके मैंने देश के लिए अच्छा किया। मैंने अपनी जान खतरे में लगाई, इतने भयंकर सिक्योरिटी में मैं मिलने गया।
This explanation could not prevent opposition parties from accusing the government of sponsoring Vaidik's trip to Pakistan. The senior journalist had a different answer.
वो तो स्पॉन्सर किया था वहाँ के जो पुराने विदेश मंत्री हैं खुर्शीद कसूरी, उनकी एक संस्था है, उसने हम लोगों के लिए टिकट बनवाए थे, उसने हमारे रहने की व्यवस्था की थी, उनके उसी पर हम लोग गए थे निमंत्रण पे, और यहाँ से मणिशंकर अय्यर जी ने उसकी व्यवस्था की।
Despite Vaidik's explanation, leaders from opposition parties questioned his meeting with Hafiz Saeed.
Mr. Vaidik is a gentleman of certain standing. When such a gentleman goes and meets Hafiz Saeed, it obviously begs a clarification from the government and the BJP as to whether this is a state-sponsored attempt to reach out to those individuals who are in the crosshairs of every law enforcement agency in the world which looks at terrorism.
अब अगर विस्तार से चर्चा वैदिक जी की हाफिज सईद से हुई है और वो भारत आना चाहता है, तो वो भी याद रखें कि आवे, लेकिन भारत की कानून की निगाह में वो एक मुजरिम भी है।
वो जर्नलिस्ट हैं, कॉलमिस्ट हैं, लेकिन जब ये तस्वीर हमने अखबार में देखा, उनके सामने ना कोई नोटपैड था, ना कोई कलम था, ना कोई टेप रिकॉर्डर था। ये क्लियरली ये तो जर्नलिस्टिक काम के लिए नहीं गया हुआ था, तो किसके काम के लिए गया? हमने यही मांगा है कि सरकार की तरफ से जवाब चाहिए।
KP Unnikrishnan, father of 2611 martyr Sandeep Unnikrishnan, was taken aback.
I'm totally shaken. I'm not shaken that Mr. Vaidik has met, that is his personal thinking, but the reactions coming from people, including the government of India, we have nothing to do or something like that, but they can easily ask him to explain what was the agenda, what was the subject he has talked about, and then he owes a reply to us.
Home Minister Rajnath Singh did not reply when asked on the issue. Vaidik is also a close aide of Yoga Guru Baba Ramdev, and the Yoga Guru was quick to come to his aide's defense. Baba Ramdev said that as a journalist, Vaidik had the freedom to meet anyone. Amidst the uproar and different reactions from various leaders back home, Hafiz Saeed took to Twitter. We meet everyone with an open heart, whoever wants to meet, regardless of nation, belief or religion. Sadly, so-called secular India is unable to bear an informal meeting of her journalist, Mr. Videk, another example of Indian narrow-mindedness. We discussed how all 2611 evidences provided by India have been rejected and asked Mr. Videk why India does not respect Pakistani courts. Row in Indian Parliament over a journalist meeting with us shows the extremism, narrow-mindedness of their politicians. Utterly shameful. Dr. Videk asked if we would protest Modi's visit to Pakistan, on which I replied, we don't participate in such politics and protests. The Rajya Sabha was adjourned twice because of the uproar over the issue. How will the government appease the opposition or provide a satisfactory explanation for the aspersions cast on them? A News9 report.
Women and Child Development Minister Maneka Gandhi's idea of punishing criminal juveniles under the same law as other criminals has drawn reactions from all quarters. While some have praised her views, a few others seem to disagree. Here's a report.
Maneka Gandhi's effort to bring change in the Juvenile Act seems to have pleased a lot of people. The Union Minister had demanded that juveniles who are accused of rape and other heinous crimes be punished in the same manner like adults. We are changing the law and I am personally working on it to bring 16-year-olds under the purview. According to the police, 50% of the crimes are committed by 16-year-olds who know the Juvenile Justice Act. But now for premeditated murder, rape, if we bring them into the purview of the adult laws, then it will scare them. Various women rights activists cheered over the minister's statement.
बिल्कुल इस आदेश का हम स्वागत करते हैं और ये बहुत अच्छी बात है, बिल्कुल ठीक बात है, क्योंकि ये जुवेनाइल समझ के जो इन लोगों को छोड़ दिया जाता है, ये बहुत गलत बात है, जुवेनाइल कहीं से नहीं.
Maneka Gandhi has rightly commented that juveniles should be tried at par with the adults, because when these juveniles are committing offences like adults, they are committing rapes and murders. In fact, the latest NCRB figures say that there is a 180% increase in the number of rapes committed by the minors. So it is necessary they should be tried under strict punishment.
See, I would appeal to the government to implement the law in letter and spirit, so perpetrators of crime are punished severely, and also that it affects the crime rate, and crime rate goes down against women. So it's important that the law should be amended and implemented effectively.
While many extended support, National Federation of Indian Women General Secretary Annie Raja felt that this was not the right way to deal with such issues.
To suggest that minimizing the or decreasing the age and addressing this issue or preventing such crimes is unacceptable thing, because by criminalizing the one generation you cannot solve this issue.
Meanwhile, All India Women's Congress President Shobha Oza said that it was high time the change in the Juvenile Justice Act was made.
The culprit is a person from the age group of 16, between the age group of 16 and 18, because if the youngster is mature enough to indulge in such heinous crime, his punishment should be in accordance with his crime, and there is a serious need to revisit Juvenile Justice Act and to make change in it.
The reactions have come amidst the reports indicating that the LET was training its trainees to behave and claim to be juveniles to escape strict punishment under the Indian law. The reports have heightened caution, with many feeling that terrorists and criminals were exploiting the gaping loopholes in Indian law. A News9 report.
In some fresh trouble for Mukesh Ambani's Reliance Industries, the government has slapped an additional fine of $579 million. The fine is in connection to RIL producing less than targeted natural gas from its KG-D6 block. With this, the total penalty on RIL for missing the target in 4 fiscal years beginning April 1st, 2010 now stands at a cumulative $2.376 billion. The gas output from the Dhirubhai 1 and 3 gas field in the eastern offshore KG-D6 block was supposed to be 80 million standard cubic meters per day, but the actual production was only 35.33 million standard cubic meters per day in 2011-12. 20.88 million standard cubic meters per day in 2012-13 and 9.77 million standard cubic meters per day in 2013-14. Even as the Gaza conflict enters the 7th day, the violence just refuses to end. Even as calls for a truce grow, the number of people killed in the crossfire is only increasing.